Hello, this is Vicky from the Spellbound Bead Company, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make this simple knot necklace. To make this necklace, which is 18 inches in length plus a bit of wiggle room on the extension chain, you're going to need 6 24-inch lengths of tiger tail. So 24 inches is 61 centimetres. It's up to you whether you choose to have this in one length off a roll or whether you want to pre-cut the lengths to size. You're also going to need 2 6mm jump rings. You're going to need 12 French crimps and then your clasps. So I'm using a medium-sized lobster and an extension chain, which just gives you a little bit of wiggle room on the length at the back of your neck. You're also going to need 3 pots of seed beads. I've used cerise, hot pink and purple in size 8s. 3 pots will do you the 6 strands that you need. You can obviously do them all in one colour if you prefer. You can have 6 different colours, in which case you'll obviously need fewer of each bead. That's up to you. You're also going to need a pair of wire cutters or scissors and some flat nose pliers. So let's get started. Let's just put these to one side. So what I've got here is some of my first colour of seed beads, my tiger tail and some crimps. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the crimp onto the end of the wire. I'm going to bring the tiger tail back round into a loop, and then I'm going to pull down on the longer end so that we've just got a reasonable smallish loop at the end of the wire, and I'm just going to squeeze that flat, and that will hold the loop onto the end of the wire. If you're working off a spool, what I'd suggest you do is actually thread your beads to length first, then make this end and then cut the other end, because you'll find there's less wastage. So it's slightly more economical if you're doing it that way. And all we're going to do is we're just going to string the beads onto the wire. Now, because this is tiger tail, it's reasonably stiff. So as you can see, I can scoop the beads directly onto the wire. You don't need a needle for this. And it's actually quicker to scoop your beads like this than it is to pick them up and thread them on individually. So if you want to do it slightly faster, this is probably your best way. If you want to put your beads on in a particular pattern, if you want to do stripes, then you might find you want to do it where you pick the beads up individually. But for the purposes of the demo, this is the easiest way to do it. Now, when I'm coming here, what I need to make sure I do is cover this end of the tiger tail that's just here, because this can be quite rough and irritate the back of your neck. So just take the time to make sure that that first half dozen seed beads or so sit over the tail, and then just keep on scooping till you've got this to the length you want. So for an 18-inch finished length, you actually need to string about 23 inches of beads. Obviously, depending on the size of your knot, you can make this slightly more or slightly less. But I find that for a nice sort of reasonable size knot, then you want to string about 23 inches of beads. Once you've done that and you get to the other end, what you're going to do is you're going to put on a second crimp, and again you're going to come back through the crimp, and this time you're going to come back down through a couple of seed beads as well, and then pull on that tail so you've got a loop on the end of your wire that's roughly the same size as the loop on the first end. Squish that with your pliers and then trim this tail off. What you want to do is you want to try and trim this tail off as closely as possible to the beads on the string, so that there's no rough edge sticking out. So there we go, there's our first length of beads. You want to string that up to your finished length, and you want to do that at least, to match this bracelet, you want to do it 6 times in total. So if you want to do that, and then come back and we will show you how to connect them into the necklace. So as you can see, I've got 2 of each of 3 colours of beads strung up, and it's up to you now how you're going to put them onto the jump rings. So you can just put them on 2, 2, 2. You can mix them up and put them on in 2 sets of 3. You can do it, you can just pick them up randomly. It doesn't really matter how you do it, but if you want to plan it, now's the time to do it. So once you've done the stringing, all we're going to do now is we're going to use 2 pairs of pliers, and we're going to twist open the jump ring. So we'll thread the beads. This is the loops on the end of the tiger tail onto the ring, and then add the clasp, and then just twist that jump ring closed so it's nice and secure, and then do the same thing on the other end with the second jump ring. And again, just hook them on. Like so. Oops. And then on this end, I've got an extension chain, so I'll just hook that onto the end of the jump ring, and then close this ring up again, and there you've got your strands of wire. And then to finish the necklace, all you're going to do is you're just going to literally tie a loose knot in the strands. So just loop it through, pull it tight, and I actually prefer it so that you've got the, what I suppose you'd call the bottom of the knot on the inside of the necklace, and that hangs quite nicely because you've got enough weight there that it pulls your necklace into shape. It's not too heavy, it's very wearable, I think, and you can make them in lots of different colours, and you can mix and match. Obviously, if you want to just add an extra flash of colour in there for a special occasion, you can open up your jump ring and add an extra strand of beads. You just need to be careful if you're doing that not to do it too many times, because you don't want to make your jump rings brittle. Okay, so there is your knotted strand necklace. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you have a go, and if you do, don't forget to tag us on social media so we can see what you've done. Have a good day.